kid does not like a good pasta?
I like it. I like it.
Yes, well, today we're doing a family favorite because we are doing the typical pesto, but instead we're actually going to add all the goodness of a zucchini in the pesto. So we don't use as much basil in the recipe. We will still use a little bit of garlic because we want our kids to get all the goodness of garlic and start developing their taste buds towards healthy ingredients. But we're going to be using zucchini, lots and lots of zucchini. So to get started, I've got my pot of water warming up in the background. And now we're going to go ahead and cut our zucchini. And for that, Luca, let's show them our trick. We cut the zucchini, and then I do a small X. And we're going to go ahead. I like to keep my garlic in the refrigerator already peeled, so it's easy to use. And I keep it in a little jar of glass. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut maybe half and stick it in my zucchini so that we can grate it along with our zucchini. I mean, stick the garlic in our zucchini so we can grate it all together. And now we're going to go ahead and grate.
Romperlo.
Yes?
Cortalo.
There we go. At home, you can use a normal box grater. We want to be it as thin as possible, but not too thin. There we go.
Did you put this?
We did half, and actually for the other half, wait, before you finish, let's put the other half in.
Oh, I really need one.
You can grab it from the jar.
Yay!
Okay, and we've got, and go ahead and grate the last little bit. Look how fast Luca goes. Well done. Okay, so we have our zucchini, and basically we are working in the bowl we're going to be serving our pasta in. So we've got our garlic, we've got our zucchini, and now we're going to go ahead and grate our cheese. Now, if you don't like consuming any dairy products because you are fully aware that that is mostly saturated fat, I recommend then replacing in the recipe your cheese with nutritional yeast. And nutritional yeast, there's many different types, but they actually bring kind of like that cheesy, earthy flavor into the pasta. So this would be the option for a vegan, but we go ahead and we like our parmesan a little bit. So every once in a while we splurge, and the lovely thing about parmesan is that it keeps us from using salt in this recipe. Yes. And what did you do before we started? So what is this? The zucchini. Spiralized. So we have a spiralizer machine, and what I like to do is I will place, for additional nutritional value in this recipe, I will mix, of course you can, I will place this basket when my pasta is cooking on top of the water so that it will lightly steam the zucchini, and then we will mix the pasta with the zucchini and the pesto all together. Okay? And now the last but not least, oh, I love how you have divided all of this into your different kind of cutting. Zucchini. And now all we need to do is we're gonna chop some nuts, and the original recipe calls for pine nuts. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a mix of almond, and what I want on my kitchen scale is roughly at around 50. We're now going to add our cheese, and we're just simply going to grate it right into our pot. And there we have it. Okay, now we're going to add some lovely olive oil. Yes, you can go ahead and use the last garlic. Go ahead and chop them up. Okay, now ready to put our pasta. Our water is boiling, and we have actually put a little bit of salt in our water.
And Mama lets me put the pasta.
Yeah, and he's gonna put the pasta.
Can I drop it?
Yeah. Okay. And so again, just to reiterate, we want to make sure that the water is boiling and that it has some salt in it. And then we just cook the pasta according to the packet instructions. Now, one thing to be mindful of is that if you like to do it with whole wheat pasta and do a combination, then read the package instructions, because you might want to put the whole wheat pasta 2 or 3 minutes before you put the white pasta, and that way you have all the goodness of the fiber of the whole wheat. Plus, we now are going to go ahead and put our zucchini so that it becomes warm and it cooks a little bit through. It has cooked through. It's still al dente, and I have there a little message for everyone is the importance of not overcooking our pasta, because basically the pasta is a carbohydrate, and carbohydrates work like in chains. You're going to test it. Is it al dente? Is it yummy? Okay, and so, like I was saying, the pasta is a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates work like chains. When we overcook our pasta, the chains actually break. And that means that when we eat an overcooked pasta, just like an overcooked rice, it's easier for our body, that works like little scissors. So they have to snip away at whatever food we eat so it turns into a molecule, and then we can absorb all the goodness of what we're eating. But when the carbohydrate has broken because we have overcooked it, it means it's so much easier for our body to turn it into glucose into our and sugar in our blood than for it to actually get all the way to our intestine and we can get all the goodness. So make sure to get into the practice of buying really good pasta. And let me show you how we're going to plate this up. Of the zucchini, and I like to top it off as well with some basil, which we could have included directly into our mix, or we just break it away and use it as decor. And some parsley, because parsley is also so good for us. It has potassium and vitamins.
And now I'm gonna have a little snack.
Yes. And there you go. Spaghetti al pesto di zucchini. P.S. that I forgot to mention, this zucchini pesto actually freezes really, really well. So whenever you make a batch, either make it twice, or if you have some left over because there's not enough people, just make sure you stick it in a jar and don't fill it all the way up, because frozen solids and liquids, they actually grow by 9%. So it'll make our glass jar shatter in the freezer. So just fill it up to, almost full, but leave a little space. And then when it freezes, it'll actually grow. But this, you just defrost by putting it in, in a pot with water. You warm it up, and then you can go ahead and mix it with your pasta, and it's such a lovely option. And so easy, because it's already been made.